Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of our tutorial of the Brandon Explosion here on Multimaker Studios on YouTube. I'm John Washington. Now, in the first tutorial, what we did was knock the green screen out for Brandon right here, and then we hooked everything up for him, made him look good, and then we added a little alley in the background. Then we added our adjustment layer, which would bring up a warm feeling for Brandon and make it look more realistic. And now it's time to make him explode into like bazillions of pieces. I don't know how he does that from just texting on his phone. Maybe he texted the wrong button and then he exploded. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead go into the effects and presets. We're gonna type in shatter. Now this, under the simulation, you can just drop the shatter effect right here on your composition, and you see this grid pops up. This grid looks like a bunch of bricks or something like that, but we're not going to be using the wireframe plus forces. Instead, in this view, you're going to change it to rendered. There. Now we see Brandon, and then we move our video up just a little bit, maybe just a few frames, you see that Brandon begins to explode, but he explodes as if he was exploding to like formations of bricks. That's something you would probably do like on walls or something, to explode a wall, or have a car come running through a wall, come driving through a wall, and the bricks just shatter like crazy. But we're not going to be using bricks. Instead, we're going to open up our shape, and in the pattern, we're going to choose glass. And as you see, Brandon looks a little bit better right there. We're gonna have maybe like tons of pieces and different like type of formations of Brandon exploding. So in order for us to do that, we're gonna go ahead and change the repetitions to say about 60. And then now you got more pieces to work with when Brandon explodes. Now we're going to go ahead and close out our shape. We're going to go to Force 1. And then we're going to choose let's choose Strength. And set it to, let's say, about 8.80 for the Strength. And what that does, as you see what it just did, basically, when the bricks explode, when the glass explodes, when Brandon explodes, the force of it goes down. But if you set the strength to a bit of a higher level, as he explodes, he expands further away from the camera, or further into the camera. Now, what we're going to do next, while we're still in Force 1, we're going to set a keyframe for our radius. So make sure that the beginning of the video is select, like you're at the very beginning of the video. You're going to set a keyframe for the radius, and we're going to set it to 0. Now we're going to move all the way over here to where you think Brandon is going to start exploding. And you can pretty much tell by his facial expression. There it is. That's kind of a shocking, sappy look for Brandon. But we're going to go ahead and set a keyframe there. I'm just going to hit U. And then we're going to move up a few frames. I'm just using the page up, page down keys. We're going to move up a frame, and then we're going to set the radius to, let's say, about 0.60. And there we go. Brandon is exploding. So now you got him screaming in agony, and kaboom. He explodes. Kaboom. Alright. We're going to close out Force 1 here, and we're going to go into the physics. Now, under the physics, we're going to change the gravity and the viscosity. So let's change the gravity to about 1, because we don't want the explosion to be like floating in the air for so long. When he explodes, bricks should go, glass should go like come flying out, and then it should just fall straight to the ground. This is Earth, people. We're not on the moon. And we're going to set the mask variance to, let's say, about 42%. We're going to leave the viscosity as is because we really don't want to get into that. We'll go ahead and close out the physics right now. Now, if you guys bought Action Essentials from videocopilot.net, good old Andrew Kramer, he has a ton of different effects for you to work with for like explosions. So I went on and bought it, the Action Essentials 1 and 2, and out of 2 I'm going to use one of the explosions from Video Copilot. That looks pretty decent. I like how that looks. It's going to work quite well when Brandon explodes. That's somewhat what we want to go for right now. So we're going to go ahead and just drag explosion composition all the way over. We don't want it to start right there. We want it to start when Brandon starts breaking up. So that should be good, and then move up a few frames so you'll know where the explosion is. We're just going to center that there. We're going to center of his chest, and then we're going to expand it. There we go. So when it explodes, you can see the explosion. That looks pretty decent. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just move on then, huh? We're gonna go. What we're gonna add now is a glow over our explosion effect, but we don't want to just add the glow over just the explosion. We want to add it over the entire composition. Why? Because when something explodes, you're gonna see a bright light. You're not just gonna see a bright light on just one object. You're gonna see it all over the screen. So in order for us to do that, we're going to go to Layer, New, Adjustment Layer, and then we're going to say Effect, Stylize, Glow. And there you see the glow affects the entire composition. That's exactly what we want to go for right there. So for the glow threshold, we're going to set a keyframe for that. What we want to do is have the glow expand out like this, and then go back to normal. So I'm going to move, you know what, actually, we're going to drag this all the way over. So let's say there. That should do it. That looks pretty good. Alright, now we're going to set a keyframe for our threshold. And it's already on 100%. We're going to move up a few frames. And there's our explosion. That's when we will change the threshold to say about 71. I'm going to want 60's fine. And then we'll just go ahead and just move our frame up until the point where you don't see that little explosion right there. So like that's fine right there. We're just go ahead and set a keyframe back to 100, and then there you have it. It explodes. There's our light, and the light comes in very quickly and it goes right back out. You can add a little bit of camera shake and whatnot. That'll help make this composition a little bit more better. Or if you really want to get technical with it, you can add some blood effects. There's also an effect used in Video Copilot. It's like if you want to have Brandon explode and then have a little bit of gore, you can have the blood scatter all over the screen. I don't know if you can see that right now. I'm just going to add a curves adjustment to it. And you see our blood spatter all over the screen. Just makes it look so disgusting. But I'm just going to keep this basic and simple. There's Brandon when he explodes, folks. And that's the tutorial on how to make Brandon Explode. I'm John Washington. Go ahead and rate and subscribe. More tutorials will be coming to you soon. Our next tutorial will be Brandon morphing into a Power Ranger. So be ready for that. That's coming out very, very soon. Until then, folks, just do what you got to do. Send me emails if you need any help or any questions. I'm here for you. Thanks a lot. Have a great one.